From Buffalo to the big leagues, this is MaDi Tells All. Hello, friends. I have been traveling like a crazy person and have been in and out of New York City like it's my job, but now I am here. And check out the new room. Like today, they were like, we only have this one available. I think this is going to be my new space because I'm already like looking a little bit tanner. So I'm like, yes, let's go. And it's midwinter about to be. The snow is falling. And yeah, but we're back. I just wanted to come on here and yap about Art Basel because it was honestly the most amazing experience I've ever had. Talk about on-site activations, experiential marketing, artwork, parties, DJs, the scenery, the networking. Like, never have I ever been. I thought the Super Bowl was like the king of the castle, but I think Art Basel is. And it was on a beach in South Beach, Miami. And then there was like Brickell and there was all these other parties going on. There was Factory Town, like you name it. Everyone was there. And it's so funny because I felt like no one was actually from Miami. Everyone was from New York City, which was amazing because you were actually networking with people that like live in your neighborhood. I met a girl who lives like 2 blocks away from me. Sorry, girl, I got to message you. I like met so many people there. And I think like a life hack, there's a few different ways that when you go to these events and you meet with so many people and you exchange Instagram or LinkedIn, when I put their Instagram in, I always screenshot it so that I can go back to all my screenshots and like get a visual of the person and be like, oh yeah, that was the girl. And then I can go follow them. I can go send them a message, find them on LinkedIn, go in my notes. And I have a few different ones. I have one for the Super Bowl. I have one for when I'm at Game Day Buffalo and I meet people like so that I can remember everyone that I meet because I'm such a yapper. That's why I have a podcast. But also you can go on to your following account and see who just followed you during those days that you were like at Art Basel and ones that you followed. And then the ones that you followed are probably people that you want to like link up with, but that is a life hack. But we're going to rewind a little bit and I'm going to tell you how I got invited to Art Basel. So LinkedIn, I can't stress it enough. It is my baby. It's changed my whole entire entrepreneurial life, all due to a friend telling me, you have to get on it. You have to get on it. I think the difference with LinkedIn is that you are talking to the CEOs, the VPs, and you're not talking to the assistant, the intern, the social media director. You're talking to the source. So this isn't sponsored by LinkedIn, but would love that. And it changed my life. I got my biggest brand deals from there. And people didn't see me just as like Buffalo Food Slut anymore. They saw me as a business owner. So I'm always posting on there my analytics and anything that I'm doing that I think is cool. It's helped out in so many different ways. But yeah, so on LinkedIn, I get a message from a guy named Ben. And he was like, hey, like basically would love to go on your podcast. And I'm like, who is this guy? Like, who is this Ben guy? You know, he's got a good LinkedIn, but I didn't really understand like what he did as much. And then I went on his Instagram and I was like, I'm not really understanding like why he wants to go on my podcast. Like, is he trying to get into the social world? And then thank God to my virtual assistant, who is a real person. I love you, Harvey. And he messaged me and was like, I really think that you need to take this phone call. And back and forth, I was traveling so much and so was Ben. So it took a few days, but finally we had a little discovery call in terms, right? I'm always trying to give anyone who needs business advice. Discovery calls are like 15-minute calls. And usually they could be a Zoom call, they can be a phone call, but it's just to like get to know the person to see if you're the right fit so that nobody's wasting each other's time, right? If you evaluate yourself at $1,000 a day, $1 per minute, like what is that going to look like? So, and I don't know if all that math is right, but whatever. Discovery call. And Ben and I just like kind of hit it off. He told me that he's the chief growth officer for Art Basel for the last 20 years. He works for a company called EM Squared, and they do all the events, Coachella, South by Southwest, like you name it, they are there. Like they were at Art Basel a month before at the convention center, setting up all these walls to do like all these different activation spaces, like VIP lounges for the artists, 10 by 30s, 30s by 20s, like they were there like a month before. So To be honest, I didn't know much about Art Basel. Obviously, it's something that has like come up in my world and the name just sounded familiar, but like not gonna lie, Ben, when I was on that phone call, I was like looking up like more what Art Basel was. And then I was like, damn, it's the biggest art festival in the world. And they don't just, it started like maybe in Paris, and then they're doing one in, is it Madrid or Dubai next year? But they do 5 of them a year and they're insane. Like just when we were talking about the security that has to go through and how they pick these new cities, because they can trace where the most amount of money transactions for like art is being seen. And that's like when they pick out the location that they're going to be at. It's insane. Long story short, I ended up pitching to Ben, like, hey, I would love to redo your social media. Like, your LinkedIn's great, but I would love to help you with the Instagram if you want to get on TikTok. Like, your story is incredible, and I feel like it's not being seen. It's why I wasn't like crazy urgent to like pick up the phone with you, because I just like didn't understand what you did. Like, your company sounds amazing, but like, who are you? And I think that's a different. People can come on here and say, oh, I've been on this Netflix show. Oh, I've been on this, but like, do we vibe? And are you a good person? You know? And I did get that 100% from Ben. He's from New York City. I think he's from Jersey. He's got that accent, like almost like the Bronx vibe. Absolutely loved it. And then, you know, so we're going to do work in the future, but he was just like, hey, why don't you come out to Art Basel and bring, you know, some people with you, and let's just like see how we vibe. We have some dinners. We have the VIP event that's going to be open to you guys before it's open to the public. Like, just come see my world. Let me meet your world. And so I picked up the phone. I called my buddy Levi. Levi knows literally every single person in New York City. He has been a model since he's been 16. He's worked with Christian Dior, Prada, like you name it. He's from South Africa, but he's crazy intelligent, and I never met someone on the Mal scale that like can network like I do and go out and just like be a social butterfly, and people want to get to know you and like learn more. So it's been great. He was one of the first persons I've met in New York City, and we've just been like inseparable since, of just like going to events together, having meetings together. I do some freelancing for his business, which like was incredible, because we create these I came up with the idea to create mood boards for the event so that people can like know the style that they should be wearing, because we would get invited to his events. And I'm like, what is smart casual? Like, I just don't know what that is. Is that a New York City term? Is that, you know, what is that? So I started creating mood boards. And one of the other companies started doing it after us. And I was like honored. A New York City company is watching me. But long story short, called him, and then we're like, we needed an artist. And so Peach Mango, Renee, she came with. She's an incredible artist. She also has like 2 million followers on TikTok. So she was like an amazing asset, and just like such. She's from Chicago, and I think Chicago has that like blue collar mentality that's just like good people come out of there, and they're like hard workers. And, you know, it's been so amazing, because I did not know, like I knew her as like a foodie, like on TikTok and all that kind of stuff. And then she showed us her profile, because I had to send it over to Ben, and I'm like, portfolio. And I was like, oh my goodness, you're like an insane artist. So brought her, and then Thatcher owns a ton of hospitality restaurants, I believe 9 in New York City. So he also knows everyone. And also he had a place in Miami too, and he was so gracious to open that up to us. I stayed at the Prince Street Pizza House, which was incredible, which ended up being a 10-minute drive from Thatcher, Levi, and Renee. So like ended up working out perfectly. So brought them with me, and we were just an iconic duo. Like, I got in early. First of all, if you saw my travel schedule or what I was going through at the airport, like flights were delayed. Like first, I was flying out of Buffalo. Yeah, I was flying out of Buffalo. Was I? I think so. Yeah, I was flying out of Buffalo to go there. And of course, New York City, what a difference, right? In New York City, you literally have direct flights. Anywhere you want to go. You want to go to Japan? You can go there direct. You want to go to New Zealand? You can go there direct. Buffalo, not so much. So I was like, oh man, I'm going to have a layover. I was supposed to get into like Miami at like 10:30 a.m. I was like, perfect, beach vibes. No, I was like stuck at the airport, delay, missed flight. I left Buffalo during a snowstorm. I was like one of the last flights that like got out. And thank goodness Ben told me like, just go to Art Basel as early as you can because the closer it gets to that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's absolute mayhem. And I probably would have missed it because so many flights were getting delayed. So then I got delayed in Charlotte and I was like, sweet. They're like, the next flight is like 7 p.m. And I'm like, I have to spend like 14 hours here. I'm like, ugh. And so I ended up, I go up to the counter and I'm just pulling all the strings. I'm just trying, I'm batting the eyes. And I ended up getting on a, standby, which I've never done before. And she was like, you're probably not going to get it. She's like, it's the last, you're there, it's fully booked, blah, blah. By the grace of God, I literally got on that flight and then it was only a difference of like an hour and a half later from my original time that I was supposed to get there. But then I get there so early, I'm like, what do? I text our group, Basel babes. That was our group chat. And all of a sudden, I'm like, guys, I'm here super early. Like, does anyone want to go to the beach? Blah, blah. Like, Renee and Levi weren't there yet. And Thatcher's like, I don't know what he was doing. He was maybe at an event and he was like, hey, I have like an Equinox pass. Like, you can take that. And I'm like, hell yeah. Never been to an Equinox before. So go to my first ever Equinox and it looks like I'm moving in this motherfucker. Like, I literally have my suitcases. I have everything. And like, it's Art Basel. So like your best outfits always. And I have a suitcase, I have a bag, which is totally different than me. I feel like I always am so good with just like carry-ons, but I had to bring all the shoes and purses. And so I get there and it was so sick. I went up to the rooftop. I brought my laptop and I just sunbathed and do work because I had a few different meetings. And I'm just in my bikini doing work. And it's just like totally normal there. Like everyone's just like working from home, but like in bikinis. There was a pool. I did my first ever Pilates. I think it was a Pilates class, which I've never done before. Oh no, I did one before in Buffalo by Steph. But I did a Pilates class and this gay guy kicked our ass. He was like this 45-year-old man playing Britney Spears the whole entire time and was making us hold planks until we would ask or answer trivia questions about Britney Spears, like how many Emmys she won, like, is she still trapped, like all of this stuff. But he was just so much fun. So did that. And then I went in the steam room for like an hour. Like my brother, kudos to him. He can like stay like 30 minutes, no doubt, like without even drinking water. He's a powerhouse. So I was like trying to do that mentality. And then they have the blow dryers there and everything. And I was like, I'm just going to be a girl. And I got all ready. And then I got to the Prince Street Pizza House, which like I fell in love with them like 3 years ago. John from Game Day took me to their LA location, maybe when we were there for the Super Bowl. And I just constantly kept on like tagging, posting. And then the owner, Big Shot on Instagram, shout out, Lawrence. And it's so funny because I'm like, what's your name? I call you Prince Street Pizza. But Lawrence reached out and was like, hey, I also have a burger place. If you want to go to the burger place, like, here's the location. Like, go check it out. Oh, my God. Erg's Burgers, I believe. It's been there for like a really long time. And then maybe he like bought it over. And their burgers are absolutely fantastic. They also have a few locations as well. But I just like through the world of social media, like how you can stay connected with people is like beyond me, but absolutely blessed. Developed a relationship with them. And anytime that they like open up a new location or when I'm in New York City, I'm always going there. They're so active on socials. They've done so many collaborations with Machine Gun Kelly, Adam Sandler, like you name it. The Kardashians have been there, the Food God, like Dua Lipa after like the Golden Globes, she just like went there and did a full-blown photo shoot with like her and her hot fiance, like, and I didn't even know. I'm like, oh, you pay them, right? And they're like, no, they just like literally come by, like collaborations, like it's a team. And I'm like, wow, that's incredible. But their branding's amazing. The guys behind it, there's now like a few different people who have ownership and probably like equity and stuff like that in the company that are just like absolutely incredible people. And so got to the house and got ready, chilled, and then we went out for sushi. I found a place that like wasn't far from us. It was pretty damn good, and I got to meet some of the other workers that I haven't met before and just some of my friends that I've known for years, and then getting to know some of the other guys like on deeper levels because sometimes it's a transactional thing, like here's your pizza, bye. So that was super, super fun. And then I think that night, I had some sake, like had some drinks with some of the people, then like went and just like passed out, but I bring out my phone now so I can literally see a play-by-play of like what else I did. Oh yeah, so the next day was us going to one of the art galleries because some of the syndicate members, Syndicate 11 has so many incredible content creators, were artists at Art Basel. So the first one was like in one of their convention centers, and it was the Subway guy. I believe that's his Instagram name, the Subway guy. He does incredible artwork with women, men, children, anything, like in the subway, like while the subway's going down. And he had this picture of a ballerina on a wine bottle, like literally a wine bottle, doing a ballet. Like, I mean, it was crazy. So his artwork's there. Letty, her whole entire artwork was there, which is pretty awesome. Then we ran into some other people. Jordan, he does like more of like that, like angry, like I don't know if it's angry, but like, splatting paint, smearing it. Letty did pictures of Marilyn Monroe, Taylor Swift, like this pink like pop art kind of vibe, which was pretty awesome. It was so cool to just like go there and then run into some of our other members that were like all supporting each other. And I took bomb ass photos. I was wearing this like notorious dress that Lainey was going to get rid of, that I took custody of. I wear it every single summer. I think I'm going to wear it. It's going to be maybe passed down to my children. I'm obsessed with it. But what else did we do? We were just like doing cute like little fit check videos, which like I never really do those ones like that you match up your audio with it, because I kind of hate doing scripted TikTok, but I know it does well. And of course it did well. And it was us with the voice of Kim Kardashian being like, I want margs and yachts. Like, I feel like we need to go to Miami. And we hit it on the first one and it was like good to go. But yeah, then we just like walked around. And then that night, I think we went to, let me look at my phone. Oh, we went to Soho House. We went to Soho House, which like the Miami Soho House. Because like now people are like, oh, Soho's overplayed. Miami Soho House is incredible. You walk in, there's a sexy ass Italian restaurant, which we ate at the one night, which was so good. There's a pool that's like, I don't know, 100 feet or so, and it's wide, and it has cabanas all laid out. I guess it was like redesigned, like all laid out. Then there's like a little like area in the back that's like for private parties, but there was like a DJ there. Then we go to the beach access, and there's a whole entire circus tent, I'll call it, with chairs, cabanas, like food trucks, like, and we get some drinks. And I ran into one of my friends, Luigi. Oh my God, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, but one of my gay friends from Buffalo who I love, but he lives in Miami now, and ran into him completely unexpected. And he is just like a ball of energy and so much fun. Is it Luigi? Like Lugi? And it's so fun to see him. But then, plot twist, 2 Chainz come out, because 1 Chain ain't enough. I've never seen 2 Chainz live that I know of. Absolutely crushed it. Literally played like all of his albums. I swear he played like 14 songs, and we were like front row. And that would be the last time that I ever heard lyrics the whole entire weekend, because as you know, house music is just taking over the world. And I can't say that, like, hate's a strong word, but it was so refreshing to just listen to that Y2K era of like some of his songs and just like jam out and shake my goddamn ass. I don't know if you know, but I am into rap music videos. Shout out Benny the Butcher, waiting for the 3rd one. And I love shaking booty. I did a workout class with Pizza Hippie. Like, I'm just in it. And I just like miss that like bars are not putting lyrics out anymore. My hot take in life is that I think maybe the house music industry is killing the liquor scene and bar scene. And it's obviously now people care a lot more than ever with their liquors. Like, I'm not a huge drinker, but when I do drink, yes, I will get drunk. But it's like everyone's just bopping their head and they're all doing drugs, right? They're all like bumps of K, bumps of cocaine. They're all on mushrooms. Like, if it grows from the grass, like totally fine. Mushrooms, weed, fine. But like the other stuff, just never got into it. And you're just like watching, and people are like doing drugs in open, like more than I've ever seen before. Like, as if it's just like not, like they used to go to the bathroom. They just don't go to the bathroom anymore. But in that era, I saw people just dancing, twerking, making out with each other, having conversations with strangers. And I was like, this is like the era of like what I remember in college, like growing up with. And now everyone's just like bop, 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 dancing there. So I'm like, yeah, I don't want to have a drink to this either. I want to leave, or I want to get blacked out wasted to like listen to this. But we can go on a whole channel of that. 2 Chainz, absolutely incredible. Then went home because we had a big day. We had a big day. Oh no. Before that, was that dinner with the crew? Oh yeah, I totally missed this. This was also the night that we met Ben from Art Basel and his team. I met such amazing people, which classic small world. You know, in the beginning of the night, they just said, oh yeah, one of our workers was from Buffalo. Like, and I don't know why I didn't ask like, oh, who the worker was. Cause like, I know everyone. And I was just like, no, like I probably just like, don't even know. I didn't even ask. I was just like, oh my God, was the guy like an amazing guy from Buffalo? Was he an advocate of like, go Bills? They couldn't stop talking about him enough. An hour later, I ended up finding out it's one of my friends from college, Joe Rivers, because the girls are walking and they're like, da da da, like Joe Rivers. And I'm like, Joe Rivers from Buff State, like the one I went to college with. And they're like, you know Joe Rivers? And I'm like, yes. So that was just a funny small world situation of that. And I was just like, oh my God, that's just too funny. But we ended up having dinner and just meeting such a team. I found out that one girl lives in my neighborhood, which like nobody lives in my neighborhood. So I was so pumped about that. We had delicious steak. And all of us, like I love that Ben made everyone get up and do a go around the table like every like 20 minutes and switch seats so that we really got to meet everyone. And it's just like everyone was so amazing. There was like a head honcho from Coach, this other guy this other girl who's like doing charity stuff with like all the big baseball players for Art Basel. They were doing something at one of the stadiums there. But honestly, it was just like, I love networking and talking to people. And then they took us to the Shaggy party, like Shaggy It Wasn't Me, which is my favorite karaoke song. So then we went there and we jammed out to that. And then we went home because we had breakfast in Art Basel the next day, which was so good. It was just like simple buffet, but it was at this beautiful, beautiful place. And we had a little like meet and greet with the behind the scenes of like the production crew and like what to know about Art Basel, which is like I found out about like how high end the security is and like the group chats they have to just make, I mean, it's crazy because Art Thief, like we just saw what happened to the VU. Like there was just a whole entire like I don't know if they caught them, but all the people that like stole everything from the VU. Oops. We got to have cucumber water. Like literally, you don't know what cucumber does to a water. But the Art Thief, like, yeah, like it was so cool to just like listen to like the security of what goes on with that situation. But it was a whole entire, like, we got to ask them questions. And I love it because one of the questions I asked, which they said, this is an amazing question. And honestly, I don't know word for word what I said, but the gist of it was, you have so many of the largest brands in the world reaching out to you. How do you vet that they're a right fit? And that it's not just the money that they're putting up. And what they were saying is that there's a lot of research that goes into it to make sure that these brands are collaborating with artists every single year, which is so amazing, especially in the world of like AI and everything that's going on. It's so refreshing that they are vetting these brands like Louis Vuitton that, you know, to make sure that every, you know, few months that they're collaborating with local artists that they're inspired by and doing purse collaborations, Ray-Ban doing sunglass collaborations. Obviously right now with Ray-Ban and Meta, they're doing so many collaborations with food bloggers and famous people and everything because those glasses like are amazing. And that's like, I believe one of Ben's like major clients, and we were there with Ray-Ban. So that was really cool. And then we took like, it was like a family field trip, right? Like 20 of us all walking in. So we had passes. Before it opens up to the public, we got to go and we got to meet the amazing people behind the scenes. And we had amazing tequila. We had amazing food. We went to this one brand that was like this woodworking that just did the prettiest ping pong table I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Most extravagant ping pong. And they should be using it in that new movie with Tim Shalloway. Yeah, whoever that is. Well, I know who it is, but that name. And then we walked into just like the art galleries, and I would say some of my favorite pieces is like this fat girl art, and it's like this cartoonish like image of like a girl, and she's always naked, I think. Maybe she has clothes on too, but they always have small boobs and like rounder stomachs. And I think it goes back almost like inspiration to like the medieval times, but the photos aren't medieval, but like the fatter you were, the wealthier you were. And so that's what I think the art was. Our friend Levi's one was like this Japanese artist that I've seen the paintings before, and it's like the old school waves. And I guess he started painting from like the 1960s. So his artwork was amazing. I ended up talking to, I don't know if it was the art dealer, art seller. The daughter lived in New York City. I followed her on Instagram, and I was like, your mom's a boss. She's plugging you. And ended up like having all these mutuals with her. And then there was like a film aspect of it too, where like live film was like it was just crazy, like so inspiring. But like the video that went viral on my TikTok, if you guys saw, was the alien little robots that were like on all fours like dogs, and they were robots, and they were pooping out photos. Like they were like coming up and taking photos of you and like pooping out live photos. But the heads were like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and like all these other people. But like, man, it's scary. Like these rubber masks were so on point. And the hair, like I think it was made with real hair, even had the buzz cuts of like whatever, if Elon Musk or anyone has like little edges in his hair, like they mimicked it to like his gray hair. Like it was crazy. And those kind of videos, yeah, they did really well on my TikToks. Everyone's like, what is this? And then we walked over, after we were done, we worked up an appetite, and we went over to the new Prince Street Pizza location. It opened up in South Beach. I totally misread the text message wrong, and I thought it said from 2 to 4 o'clock. No, of course it said like from 4 to like, I don't know, 12 o'clock at night or something like that. We get there like 2 hours early. I'm like, so can you make me a pizza? They're like, yeah, give us 15 minutes. So they gave me like the whole entire tour of everything, and we got the ricotta pizza with some hot honey on top of it, and then maybe a classic cheese and pep. So good. Got to see Nick, who he was flown down there. He lives in California, but he was like operations of helping opening up that location. So that was super fun to see him, because last time I saw him, he was in New York City. Me, him, Graham, Lorenzo, like all went out, and like I think Graham grew up in Jersey, so but like hasn't lived there in years. So like we went out in Williamsburg, and Lorenzo, I don't know how much he goes out in New York City. Same with Nick, and like all of them were just like, we went to this one place. I don't know what it's called, like Westgate or West something. It's like a hotel with this rooftop overlooking Manhattan, and it is just absolutely beautiful, and there's never any cover. Obviously drinks are pricey, but like the view is absolutely amazing. They have turf up there, like one of my favorite places to go. I'm like, I have no plans tonight, like maybe I just go out in Williamsburg. But anyways, we went, saw that, and it was so funny because we were all so hungry. We had an Uber to go get Renee she had to go get some paint because some of her pieces scratched that she brought on the plane. So we went and got her paint, and then we were literally on a stoop. She comes outside, me, Levi, Thatcher, we're like literally sitting on a bench, not even on a bench, like on the ground in the parking lot, like just mowing down pizza because we were so hungry. And then another Uber picked us up to bring us back to Miami. And usually like you don't eat in Uber's cars, right? It's like kind of rude. Well, we were starving, and we just continued to eat. Levi's making a mess. Thatcher's like type A personality, no mess on his plate. Me and Renee, we're just, medium in between them two. Like we're just like eating our pizza, and it was just so funny that we were doing that. And then we went back, and I believe we went and chilled at the house for like a half an hour, and then we had another party to go to. We had a yacht party with Nylon. First off, amazing. We're greeted with like all this stuff from Garage. We got totes, we got hoodies, we got sunglasses, we got lighters, matches, like good swag bag. And then friggin' that DJ, that's Alex Earl's like best friend. Her DJ name starts with an X, like is it Alexander with an X? I don't know. She's incredible. Follow her on TikTok. She's like super famous in that world of DJing. She DJs. And it was crazy because at the Nylon party, there was just everyone from like The Bachelor, Dave Portnoy's ex-girlfriend that's like Colombian, Silvana. She was there. Like everyone who's anyone in that space who like comes up on my For You page was like at the event. And it was crazy because the DJ was slaying and no one was even going over and like taking selfies or taking photos of her. And I was like, well, I guess I can't do that. But I guess they're just like all in that same plane. So like so honored and blessed to be going to these events as such like a new person in New York City and more of like that micro influencer who I swear we're gonna hit that 100K soon. But go there. There's like a girl like on a trapeze situation, hanging from the water, doing all this kind of acrobatic stuff. There was a, espresso martini bar. They had good tequilas, good margaritas. We stayed there for a while. And again, it was like on a yacht. We got picked up by a golf cart, brought over there. And I was like, what is life? And then we went to the Swagger event because Renee was invited there, had so much fun. And then this lady comes up to me, Courtney. She's like, by chance, were you guys the girls I was talking to at Art Basel? Which is crazy because that event had thousands of people there. And then all week, I don't know how many hundreds or millions of people come down to South Beach, but it's crazy when you run into people that you know or that you met the night before. So then we ended up hanging out there. She introduced us to her sister-in-law, who I forget what her first name, it starts maybe with a J, but her last name is Dallas. And she was on the Huntington Wives, which the Huntington Wives was like such an incredible show. Like we all might have turned lesbian after that. Like bringing back my rugby days. Like it was just such hot lesbian scenes the whole entire time, but so well put together. Won a ton of Emmys, I believe. Who knows? Maybe a Golden Globe. I don't know how that works out, but she was one of the actors on it. She's this beautiful Asian woman. And I think she says she gives like a blowjob in one of the scenes. I was like, you go, girl. That's probably the only straight scene that I've seen the whole entire time. But we ended up hanging out with them. We did drink quite a good amount that night. And then let me see what we did next. Literally. Oh, yeah. And then we went to this other party in Miami where there was like this boat outside of it was like probably like a swim up place. And we just like danced there for a while. And then everyone went home. And then I went to Factory Town, which I've never been to before. Factory Town's crazy. I want to know how much money those motherfuckers be making because 3 shots and 3 drinks was like $200, like clockwork. I don't want to know how much money I spent at Art Basel, but this event started at 10 p.m. and went until 7 a.m. in the morning. I thought the whole entire time I'm sending Lorenzo and Graham like all of these invites to go to all these parties all week. None of them are telling me that they are literally working every day from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I'm like, what is this? It's a freaking rave, basically, house music central. But some of the house music was pretty good. They like actually put some lyrics into it and some like bass and like had some texture, but a lot of the same stuff too. But some of the stages were just so cool. Like these big chains, these big balloons, the confetti, like the people that were dressed up in outfits, but like Rave Central brought back to like my Electric Forest days of just like being out there. And I stayed there every single night until 7 o'clock in the morning. And it was called Sunrise Set. They're not kidding. You literally watch the sun come up as the DJ's going, and it's like the witch hour, right? Luckily, your girl doesn't like wear too much makeup, and I feel like I look kind of the same without makeup or with makeup on. So when the lights come on, I'm not fleeing away. But sometimes when the lights come on, you see people wanting to leave, or they just like haven't slept in days and they're just like rave mode. And then as soon as that sun comes up, they are darting out those doors. But I stayed there. I got fed pizza every single night, like no complaints. I did so much by myself because everyone was working. And I was like, I don't care. I'll make friends with literally anyone. And my past was like backstage. So I'm just like jamming out. I got to eventually see one of my favorite artists, Sophia Tucker, which was like absolutely incredible. The next day we went to Soho House and I wore this sexy black suit. I don't know where I acquired her, maybe Emerson. And it like crosses up here. I was wearing see-through skirt that I got that was vintage from Backroom Vintage, which is my favorite thrift store in Buffalo, New York. And I just, with like a thongy suit on, and we went to Soho House. We all brought our laptops and we pretty much just worked all day because that was a situation, right? Like we all had to do work. So anytime that we were like at Soho House or going to these places, like laptops in hands, we're ready to go. Oh, and I got snow crab and it was so good. I think snow crab is my favorite kind of cat crab. It's the most expensive. It's like $30 for like a crab leg, but we had that. We had ahi tuna. There was like no sun on the pool, which I was like, whatever. And then they totally were like messing up our orders and we stayed there for like way too long. But it's fine. Then we went to a one of the artists that I don't know if he's been to syndicate events before, but he did a collaboration with the brand. We went and supported him. He had like a speech, a little like Q&A. And then we went to, if you guys saw like the notorious video of the bookshelf that swivels, well, that was what we were at, like at the beach. It was like a huge bookshelf, like on an angle, DJ there, like, and that was just such an amazing, like, I can't express enough the backdrops and artwork that went on into every event was absolutely insane. And then we had the nylon party, which I forget. Let me see if you guys can hear it on here, because then you guys will know the girl who I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. Let's see. My brother and my sister said, whatever, LD Golding or whatever her name is. The event was like put on by like Elf Cosmetics, Marshalls. Oh, that's my alarm because I have a meeting because work-life balance. But absolutely incredible. Elf had a whole entire area where they can like freshen up your lips, put some like lasting spray. You could touch up your hair, which like every girl's dream. Marshalls had such an amazing activation. My phone was dead, so they took my email. They must have put my email in wrong. Never got the photos, and I slayed in those photos. So I got to reach out to them because like I need them. But that was a crazy situation because my phone died. I brought my portable charger. The little hook that goes into it snapped. So my phone was completely dead. This is an event with content creators, right? Again, Alex Earl was there. All these people. No cell phone stations anywhere to charge your phone. I had a night that night. I snuck into VIP and I was backstage and I was friggin' on top of a couch, bottle service, having the time of my life, hanging out with random ass people, making myself at home. And then my phone, I tell all my friends, we're going home. I'm like, cool, be free. Like, I'm going to go do my own thing, whatever. I eventually talked to a security guard. I'm like, do you have any advice for me? I'm like, I can't even get an Uber. I can't leave this place because I've been asking everyone for a phone charger. He's like, there's a hotel across the street. Like, go there. Best advice. I go to the hotel. I ended up charging my phone, getting a dirty martini. The two guys next to me were having dirty martinis, and I overhear them saying, oh, yeah, we're going to go to Factory Town. And I was like, perfect. I just literally go over to them, and I was like, cool, I'm going with you guys. And they're like, what? And I was like, yeah, you guys are going to Factory Town. I'm going to Factory Town. Like, we're just all going to Uber together. And they're like, cool, our wives are coming down. I was like, perfect. We love wives. I ended up bonding with the wives in 2 seconds. I love it because, like, here I am, just like single gal at the bar having dirty martinis, and end up being like, yep, we're going to go with you guys. But that was a whole situation. I ended up Ubering with them, hung out with them, smoked some joints with them, and then back to just hanging out, doing my own solo thing. Then the next day was, I was supposed to leave, but my flight wasn't until later. So I was like, okay, we're going to go to a pool party. Got invited to a pool party. I wore this sexy green outfit, made myself at home at the pool party per usual. And I was in this like green outfit, white skirt, and we go there. There's like no bartender, which is totally whatever, but there's like kind of stuff to like mix and make drinks. I ended up making Madeline margaritas, which were absolutely fantastic. Made myself at home, did a little photo shoot. Game day was like, we need, for the Orange Bowl, we need you to do like a video of you talking about how it's going to be Miami. And I was like, John, I'm in a bikini. Like, do you care? He's like, fuck it. It's Miami. Do what you got to do. Did the video, put it out there. Met the guy who owns, what is the company? Is it Fetch? It might be Fetch. Like, huge huge millions and $1 million a company. He had 1 million followers, but it was so cool because like I never ask people what they do for the first like 45 minutes unless I'm like strictly at a networking event. So like the whole time we're all bonding, and like I love that I didn't know that about him. And it was until the time that I like took a video of the one guy talking about the Sausage Guy, which is like a company that we use for Game Day New England. And I was like, can you do a video just like saying how you love the Sausage Guy? Because he was like, oh my God, I know that company. And then I go to the other guy. I'm like, can you do a video of like how you're going to come to Game Day? And he's like, you might have to talk to my agent about that. And I was like, what? And then he's like, pulls up his Instagram. He has like 1 million followers. I was like, all right, buddy. Well, I didn't know that until right now. But like, you know, you can still plug our company. Always working. But then eventually I had to go home and get ready because I was heading to the freaking airport that I'd be at for over 3 hours. Flight delayed, flight canceled. I'm like, whatever, suitcase gone. Going to Factory Town, get changed in the Uber because thank God my luggage was overweight and the lady made me take the stuff out of the bag and put it into my carry-on. So I had shoes, I had dresses, no makeup, but had everything like that. End up going to Factory Town, and the whole time I still think that I'm going to be able to catch this flight. Well, then it kept getting delayed the next day, and I wasn't going to get in until 1 o'clock, and the game started at 1, and I'm like, well, I can't do that. And we were hosting Monster, Coca-Cola, DraftKings, all these other influencers, comedians, and I'm like, we're totally screwed. Like, what are we going to do? And then all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, I got a girl. And I was like, I'm going to call Melinda. Call Melinda. Melinda is my girl from Buffalo who is just an absolute powerhouse. She lived in LA for like over 8 years. She's worked with insane artists, being a dancer, choreographer, like you name it. She's done everything. And now she has her own business in Buffalo called Underground Below, which like I've used them so much for my events. And if you know, now you know. They're the girls that wear the ski masks, the fishnets, and they come in looking so hot and sassy. And they put on a freaking show. They are so incredible in every single manner. And shout out to Melinda because I also want to give you the shout out. She just started, I think she's done it a few times now, but she has these modeling classes and dance classes where you can come and get professional headshots and like learn what it's like if you really are going to pursue being a dancer and model. So that because this is something that she's done. She's been modeling since she was like, I don't know how old, probably like 13. She's freaking gorgeous. She looks like she's from Iceland. But, you know, I knew who to call. Long story short, call her. And I was like, I know you're supposed to go to the tailgate and the Bills game with me, but I can't make it. My flight's delayed and I need you to be me tomorrow and I will pay you to be you, or, you know. And so she absolutely nailed it. I had like an hour-long conversation with her, like emailed her a bunch of the notes, got her to also bring someone so that they can be on the phone. So she took over Game Day's Instagram account for like 24 hours. And she was Buffalo Food Slut, Madeline Hall. She was the face of Game Day. She hosted the chicken wing eating competition. She went and hung out with Monster and Coca-Cola and the DraftKings and the guys from Labatt's. And just like, right, it's like kiss, handshake, babies. Like we had big clients in. We have companies that we're trying to work with the World Cup and for next year for the 2026 football season. And that's like my job, right? And I couldn't be there. So I was like, you have to be me tomorrow. And my dad said that she did absolutely amazing. One of our other friends said she did amazing. Like people were like, she absolutely crushed it. Like she doesn't know that we're friends. And she just like, I'm at the tailgate watching her. She absolutely crushed it. So like, thank you, Melinda, because I did not get any like messages of being like, I can't believe you're not here right now. Like, well, I did get those messages, but like from the business aspect, it was like sometimes you have to pivot, and I'm an amazing pivoter. I think it's the hospitality in me, and I pivoted, and I was like, okay, we got to make this happen. So she ended up absolutely crushing it, and then I got to stay in Manhattan a little bit longer, and flights were so many, like getting back to Buffalo from Miami for whatever reason was so difficult. I ended up staying till Tuesday because that was the only like direct flight I could get. And I was like, yeah, I'm not dealing with who knows if there's going to be a snowstorm or what's going to go on, but like, I'm not interested. But I ended up staying at Factory Town Classic until way too late, but it was 1000% worth it. Sophia Tucker was there, and she is like the absolute, or was that the next day? Either way, that I think it was that. Oh yeah, because Saturday wasn't, but Saturday was just so much fun. The energy was just so electric. Everyone was just letting loose, having a good time. The pizza was slaying. Stayed up way too late, got absolutely no sleep. All of a sudden, it's me waking up, and I'm like, oh my God, the Bills are about to play. And one of the Prince Street boys, Troy, absolutely love you, or Trey, absolutely love you. He was like, I know this is so important to you. I have the game on YouTube streaming, ready to go. I have a glass of water for you. Like, these gentlemen, like, were just so incredible, because like there was like one older one, but like everyone else was like 22, 23, 21. Just such gentlemen, holding the doors open, just like, carrying my bags. Like, whoever raised these kids, absolutely they're so much fun to be around. I just absolutely love them. But ended up watching the Bills game, which was crazy. I haven't watched it on a TV in I don't know how long, because I'm always at the games. And so that was fun to watch it and just actually like sit on my ass and watch the game. And we were playing the Bengals. Whoa. Okay. Heart attack after heart attack. Do you know how stressful it is watching them damn Buffalo Bills play? Okay. I think we were down to, I think it was 14-0, like until halftime. And like, I kid you not, Buffalo, love you, but you are the halftime kings of just coming back. And of course, we had an insane comeback, ended up winning the game. Whew, that was so exciting. And then what did I do after that? I literally have to, like, my life is so go, go, go. I'm like, oh, I went to the airport to get my suitcase, because they told me that when I went back, I don't know if I told you this, but like when I was at the event on Saturday, after I called Melinda, other things happened. I'm having a good time. I'm having a few drinks. And then I'm like, I got to go get my suitcase. Like, if I want it, I should go get it, because it's probably going to go on that plane tomorrow when it leaves. So you try to call customer service. There's no customer service. So I go to the airport, and I am dressed. I called myself an airport whore. But I'm in this like sexy see-through like mesh, which it's meant to be in the dark because it's like kind of see-through. And it's like my favorite beach fit. And I'm just in the airport, and everyone's just staring at me. And I'm just in this sexy outfit. My boobs are out. It has no back. I have no bra, no underwear, no problem, right? Well, the problem was I had no suitcase. Waiting in line, and I'm just making jokes. I was like, guys, I was kind of at a rave. Like, stop staring at me. I literally have no other clothes. They're all in that suitcase. Well, they told me to come back tomorrow. The suitcase, they'll take it off the plane. After the Bills game, I go to the airport for now like the third time. And of course, they don't have my suitcase. They said, oh, it's back in Buffalo. I said, cool. I have absolutely no makeup. I hardly have any clothes. Don't have any more socks anymore. I was just like, what are we going to do? Thank God for Renee. Came in clutch. I Ubered to Thatcher's house where they were staying, and I used all of her makeup, Thatcher's skin products, which were incredible, and just got ready there. I put her dress on, which was also see-through. Totally forgot because she wore it the night before. So sexy though. Like this, and this thing had like a freaking corset built into it. I felt so freaking snatched and skinny. I was like, I ended up like taking a bunch of her clothes, going back to the house, and I tried on all the outfits and made the boys pick out which one I was going to wear. I was like, guys, I'm going to, what was that event? Oh, I was going to Scarface's house. Like literally where Scarface, I don't know if it was where the movie was filmed or he actually lived. I think it was his actual, Scarface's mansion. It was his house. And we went there, but I wanted to look good. So the boys picked out my outfit. I ended up going classic. I don't think they could see that it was see-through because the lights were so dark in that house. It was more when I took this backdrop photo and put my ring light on. I'm like, oh my God, you can see my nipples. But it was incredible. We went to Scarface's house. The party, I'd say like there was a lot of like 22-year-old streamers that were just all like, yeah, I'm alive on YouTube right now. And then the owner of the house was wasted and was literally just yapping about how much money he makes and that we should be lucky to be at his house and he's got all these celebrity friends and that he trades over like $80 million in bonds. Like, crazy stuff. I was like, who gave the drunk guy a microphone? Because he is just absolutely just making a fool of himself. So we stayed there for a little bit. We did get free tacos, so that was lit. Now I look at my phone to see, I think they might have called it a night, and then I classically went to Factory Town because I just live there now. And it was so much fun. I had my big heels on, but thank God I figured I was going to go there. So I gave the boys a pair of my sneakers and was able to switch into my sneakers, which I was like lit. Now I can go dancing and dance the night away. Ran into my friend again, gay friend from Miami, Luigi. And I was that was a Sophia Tucker night, which like they did a stage activation where they took it over and they had people dressed up as like clowns, unicorns, like you name it. It was insane. They had, I don't even know how to explain it because like I'm just gonna put some videos over like a B-roll of like what this looked like. But at one point, I'm like backstage. I had like 3 coconuts that I got for everyone, and then they were like, "Oh shit, we're not backstage anymore." I'm like, "Cool." Then I'm dancing with like 3 coconuts, which Alex Earl's sister, Ashton, who I saw twice there that whole entire weekend, which like kudos, love the Alex Earl family. And I'm literally dancing and twerking with these, like, because I'm backstage. I'm like, I'm not going to leave this, but like, I didn't want to be an asshole and like put the coconuts like where the stage mics were and everything like that. So I'm just dancing, and Ashton literally looks at me and winks at me. And I think she was like dying in her head. She's like, what is this girl doing? Like, just put the coconuts down. But ended up hanging out doing that. My friend Letty ended up being there. She was hanging out with some DJs who I got to find out who the DJ was because she said, oh, you'll definitely know his music. He's like done stuff with like Justin Bieber and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, sick. But Letty and I were there. We were jamming out. We kind of both were bonding over the fact we're like, do you like really just listen to this every single day? Because like the house music scene, it's like literally all sounds the same. Like, prove me wrong. Someone send me a freaking good playlist that I can dance and shake ass to that's house music, because it's just like not it for me. Then the next day, classic, went to Soho House, brought the laptops, worked there all day, was on the beach, swam in that ocean. That water was so amazing and warm and beautiful, and like the salt hitting my face, and I was like, yes. And I was like, do you guys want to see my butterfly? It's my party trick. I used to swim. And they're like, yeah, obviously. So then we did, I want to make sure you guys see my juicy lips. But then we swam, we did some more work, and then like a tornado came through. Literally, it was hysterical. They all left. I stayed on the beach, and then all of a sudden the dark clouds came through, and it was like a hurricane came through, like legit, like trash cans blowing over, everything blowing over. And we waited underneath one of the cabanas and hung out and waited this storm. So that was lit. And then was that the day? Yeah, we pretty much, and then we had Italian dinner. It was so freaking good. And it was so funny because Renee's like, I do it all the time. I guess Levi does it too all the time. But like we're the people that we're eating with people. Like I sometimes serve them. I cut up the food if we're doing family style, and like I serve you. It's just like I learned that in Italy, if you have a thing of water, you don't pour yourself first. You pour everyone else, and that's like with wine. And that's something that like I've always done. It's like serve everyone else first before you serve you. And Renee was so sweet. She was like, "You guys are so nice that you guys just like serve me before everyone else." I'm like, oh my God, I just thought that was like the thing to do. But yeah, we had an Italian feast there. And then we just went back and we hella passed out. It was a long week. I mean, I think I stayed up every single night until 8 o'clock in the morning, and I don't do drugs. I mean, I smoke weed sometimes, maybe a little mushroom here and there, but I'm not even a big drinker. I just was like thriving off of meeting new people. The energy was amazing, but it was crazy because like team no sleep. It's like, because then it's like we would get home and then I had to clock in and start working, game day stuff, personal stuff, like had meetings, like didn't miss a beat, only missed a beat when I was like on the airplane getting all the delays. But the team hustle was absolutely insane. And my flight was at like 6 o'clock in the morning. And then I got home into Buffalo, pretty flawless. Everything was great. And then I tried to like chill on the couch and just like maybe like get a little rest. No, rest is for the dead apparently, because I called my sister and I was like, hey, I'm going to come over and see the nieces and nephews. They'll make me tired. And then I'll probably just pass out on your couch. We'll eat some food. Nope. My sister calls me as I'm in my car heading to her house, and she was like, hey, I don't know if you left right now, but we're getting hit with a snowstorm and you should probably leave. Well, that snowstorm that we were supposed to get like 15 inches, we ended up getting like 4 inches. But those 4 inches happened fast and it just caused some delays. Like I literally went back into my house, frantically packed so goddamn fast that I completely forgot to bring any of my winter stuff, which was like the whole point of me driving my car, that I could like drop my summer stuff off, bring my winter stuff because I have my apartment in Buffalo. Nope, totally forgot everything. But thank God it's not been too bad in New York. So, and when I get back here, sometimes I just like don't leave the house because I'm just like, ugh, like I'm in my house, I'm chilling. But yeah, I had to drive 7 hours straight back 7 hours. But honestly, it was chill. I listened to some podcasts, jammed out a little bit, made some phone calls, talked to grandma, talked to my mom. Who else did I talk to? Probably Rachel Spencer. But yeah, did that. And then the next day, it was like right to clockwork. We had the like victory fight night, which was so fun. And you know what? I'm going to save that for the other podcast. But guys, I hope you like my Art Basel breakdown. And I'm going to stay true to my word and take this episode and put a bunch of B-roll over it so that you guys can kind of get like a true doc series of like the behind scenes of like what it was like being at Art Basel. And it was awesome, you know, doing some cool work for Prince Street Pizza, doing some stuff for Ben with Art Basel behind scenes. And I'm so blessed with every opportunity I've ever get. And I'm so happy to always be able to share this with you guys. So it means the world to me. I love you guys. Go Bills. From small town roots to the big city hustle, remember your past doesn't define you. Your passion does. If something hits home today, share it, tag me, even write in. Be a part of this community. This isn't just my mic, it's ours. Check the episode description below for all the links. Until next time, keep building your empire your way.